Hello, this is Jordan recording my contacts app I made. This is within the week for objects. Just getting right to it. So all the way lines from 1 to 51 is basically how I construct a Bitmoji. Drawjordan consists of all the functions I used previous. Body, mount, face that has all the specs dimensions of how what shape, what color, what fill-ins I use, and then Drawjordan, whenever I called it the function Drawjordan, it knows how the Bitmoji should be constructed. 63, 69 is just the home screen you see here, the blue, yellow, you're in context, title here. It's actually different the spacing on Google Chrome for some reason than Firefox, as the display on Firefox is what I use when making this code, and it's different on Google Chrome, as some of the words are falling off the screen. And just some words might be, looks like are not displayed properly, like for family.ye should be yes. On Firefox, it does say yes. So whenever you're trying to look at this code, please make note to use Firefox or a different browser. And then I use a object constructor for buttons here. So I'm going to be making new instances of this button. So as you see, I have a bunch of buttons here. And those are properties X, Y, width, height, label, and click. This is actually going a little ahead because the next is coming up assignment goes more into depth about explaining how to build buttons inside of behavior properties, as far as how, when you press the button, what should it be doing. So button.prototype.draw is basically explaining the behavior of, okay, how a button should look like when you're calling a new object of that button. Button prototype. Let's pretty much explain the parameters on what it needs to be inside the button, as far as, is it inside that rectangle, is it outside the rectangle, is it based on where your mouse X, which is your left and right, or your mouse Y, which is going up and down. Mouse inside, just mentioned mouse click, is pretty much explaining the parameters. What does it mean to be clicking the button, and it means to be inside the mouse button. It means inside the button, sorry. And it needs to mean if the mouse is pressed. Okay, and then I have an object constructor for contact. This has all the properties I'd be using throughout the program: first name, last name, phone number, rating, etc. As you can see on the left side here, these are all the titles of the properties I'd be using. And then the right side would normally be the value I would have it display based on what button you press. So I have an array called here people. It's actually just really a new object I made from the previous object contact that uses those properties, and I'm pushing in those new values into those properties. And then whatever, based on the person I press, it's going to be based on the order of my index. That's going to sum these information you see here. So it's not going to be like one giant soup of values, specific text. And then variable show contact. This is actually how it puts into place how you visually see the value assigned based on the specific title. For example, like first name, last name, Billy Bob, based on the order of my index, which is my new object, saying people based on that order, dot first name. So I'm accessing that property. And that property is also an order based on first name, last name. It's because it's in the argument how it's arranged, so it knows it's in order. So it knows, okay, based on the argument order, it's going to be first name, last name, phone number, and then Bitmoji, and so on. So it knows, okay, if I press this button here, it's going to be, let's see, just bear with me for a second. So if you press any specific button, all these buttons are assigned to specific values as far as what the order of the array is. So for example, Johnny here is button number 1, and it's actually a new object based from the object button. So it knows what the button properties are. And what I'm saying here is, if you press this button, Johnny here, then display all this images, colors, shapes, yada yada, and display all the array information of show contact 0, which is the first in the order of my new object contact. So Johnny Appleseed 555. So it knows, okay, this is to display this information here. And And that's why you also see phone, rating, family, emergency contact. That's not part of the listing here. That's actually in the show contact variable here, because I'm putting this in quotations. And lastly, this just pretty much puts the Bitmoji into existence. Draw on the button. You're explaining how the buttons should be drawn and explaining the existence all about